Inspiring.
Healing, foundation,
friendships,
fun,
community, obligation,
defining.
The March of the Living, to me, is more important than anything.
For me, it was a transformative experience. It changed everything for me.
It was awesome, and it was the best week of my life, I'd say.
It opened my eyes to realize how important being a Jew is and remembering.
That trip to me, developed my Jewish pride because it showed me that I came from this incredible people.
On Yom HaShoah, you are marching with thousands of Jewish youth from around the world together, being in Birkenau and Auschwitz.
I had never seen that many Jews in one place from all around the world.
I had a Holocaust survivor on one hand and a friend from my trip on the other
I
hand.
met people from Brazil and Ukraine, Panama, Greece, I believe. There were just people from all around the world. It was so cool to have this shared understanding of everything.
And knowing that I have such a community beyond what I can even understand is an incredible feeling.
On our bus, we had a Holocaust survivor. Walking through camps and certain sites that we went to with her was honestly surreal.
And to really go and stand there and feel like you're standing on the shoulders of giants, that feeling will carry me through the rest of my life with so much pride and joy of knowing where I came from and the strength and resilience of the people that I'm descended from.
Although there's sadness and you feel pain and it's hard at times, those low lows are so important, and there's so many high highs on that trip.
Go and remember, and then go to Israel and rejoice.
The transition from Poland to Israel is something that I truly believe is a necessity.
I was sitting in the middle seat and my friend was sitting on the window, and I was literally leaning all the way over him, looking out the window, trying to see Israel.
Of course, this past year, it was very unfortunate, but we were bearing witness both in Poland and in Israel.
After seeing these sites in videos from October 7th and actually being able to see them in real life was unforgettable.
Next day, we're celebrating Yom Ha'atzmaut, and we're in a parade with a bunch of other young people from all around the world, and it was so much fun.
And we danced and sang, and we had an awesome time just together.
It is an incredible experience, and I encourage anyone to sign up and go.
I'm 97 years old. The end of our life does not end the history of the Holocaust.
It's our responsibility as Jewish people in the next generation to continue on their stories.
I'm telling you, it's worth it. Don't wait.
This is the history of our people. You are the future of our generation.
Don't wait, don't think too much, do it.
There is no other experience like the March of the Living.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Adult March of the Living Information Night. My name is Whitney Karp, and I'm the Director of March of the Living Canada, and I want to thank you all for joining us to learn more about the 2026 Adult Program. After an incredibly meaningful and memorable March of the Living 2025, we're all so excited to be back and planning March of the Living 2026. Tonight, at our information night, you're going to hear from our co-chairs, Dory and Ari Eckstein. You're going to hear from our UJA staff, Orna and Joel, and you're also going to hear from Holocaust survivor educator, Nate Leipziger. We're also joined tonight by my colleague, Lauren Mincer, who's off screen right now, but we are your touch point for everything March of the Living throughout your journey ahead. We are going to share information about registration, itinerary, local programming, program fees, safety and security, and more. And we're also going to leave time at the end for questions. But without further ado, I'll pass it over to Dory and Ari.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dory Eckstein, and I'm very excited and honored to be co-chairing the Adult March of the Living this year with my husband, Ari. I will share a little bit about myself and why I chose to be involved with the March of the Living. I've been a lay leader and active volunteer at the Toronto Holocaust Museum for over 15 years, formerly called the Neuberger, for those who are familiar with the Neuberger. I'm a daughter of 2 Holocaust survivors. My father was born in Slovakia. He was a prisoner in Auschwitz for over 2.5 years until liberation. My mom was born in Poland. At 3 years old, she went into hiding with her parents. She was hidden in a barn by Polish farmers. My personal connection and dedication to Holocaust education and commemoration naturally led me to the March of the Living. In 2010, my husband and I were in Poland and the Czech Republic for the very first time on our own heritage tour. I've been on the March of the Living twice, once as a chaperone for the student contingent in 2011, and in 2024 as the vice chair of the Adult March. It is my pleasure to share my experiences and thoughts of this incredible program. It is hard to believe, and it was unexpected, but my 2024 March of the Living trip had a greater impact on me than previous trips. Being in Israel post-October 7th, after experiencing Poland, was a truly life-changing experience, unmatched to any other. The March of the Living is not just a trip. It's an extraordinary journey to both Poland and Israel that will take you through emotional highs and lows as you process what you're seeing and learning. In Poland, we will become a witness to the atrocities of the Holocaust, see ghettos, sites of mass graves, and Nazi death camps. Together, we will remember and honor the victims, but also appreciate the life of 3.5 million Jewish people who lived in Poland before World War II. We will visit sites and villages that were once vibrant centers of Jewish life and learning. On Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, we will march together with thousands of other people from all over the world as a tribute to the victims. It's definitely one of the highlights of the trip and a very powerful way to commemorate this important day. Another highlight of the March of the Living is hearing from survivors about their personal experiences during the Holocaust, and also about their lives before and after the war. Listening to survivors share their experiences at the sites where the atrocities occurred is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and there are limited years that this will be an opportunity. This year, we have the privilege of traveling with 97-year-old Holocaust survivor and my dear friend, Nate Leipzinger. He will be 98 in February. We are very fortunate to be traveling with him. Nate has been sharing his testimony on the March of the Living for 21 years. Nothing can replace the experience of walking through Auschwitz-Birkenau with Nate as your personal guide. Going to Israel is also a very critical part of the March of the Living and not to be missed. My husband Ari will speak to the Israel part of the trip shortly. This trip is extremely important because the Holocaust is part of our shared history, and we have a responsibility to remember those who were murdered, even if your family did not have a personal connection. We have an obligation more than ever to work together to combat anti-Semitism, and equally important, to support Israel and our homeland, especially at this time. The strength of our community depends on all of us getting involved and standing up. All of my experiences in Poland and Israel showed me the unbelievable strength of the Jewish people. I left Poland and Israel with a renewed sense of hope. The strength and the resilience of our people is something that is profoundly moving and makes me very proud to be Jewish. I returned with a greater sense of Jewish pride and with more determination than ever to continue to stand up and speak out against anti-Semitism. If you are considering joining this trip, I urge you not to delay. I really hope you choose to join us on this remarkable journey. I promise that you will be grateful that you did. Thank you for listening. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my husband, Ari, to say a few words.
Yeah, after watching that video and listening to my wife, Dory, I think hopefully a lot of people are convinced to come to this amazing trip. So good evening, everybody. Thank you to Whitney and her team for giving me the opportunity to co-chair the 2026 March of the Living trip. I'm very excited to return to Poland and Israel to experience this amazing journey again. I was fortunate to attend the 2024 March of the Living, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I truly believe that the March of the Living is an incredible trip that allowed us to connect to the past, present, and future of the Jewish people. We all know that the world continues to change, but unfortunately, the challenges that Jewish people experience over generations remain. In my mind, it is more important than ever for Jews around the world to be strong and stand together with Israel. I've been to Israel over 10 times, and I can truly say the March of the Living trip was the most rewarding trip I have ever experienced in Israel. There is no better way to truly understand and to connect to the Israeli society than spending time with survivors of the October 7th tragedies. Whether it is visiting the site of the Nova Festival or seeing the destruction of a moshav, there is nothing more powerful than seeing it with your own eyes and hearing from survivors and their families. Listening to their stories and sensing their unbelievable strength and will to rebuild their lives is amazing. It was incredibly rewarding to pick melons in the fields of Israel, knowing that in a very small way, you are helping out during these tough times. We were fortunate to spend an evening in a community very close to the Gaza border and hear firsthand accounts of stories of courage and resilience. Spending time with young, brave Israelis is something I will never forget. Being in Israel for both Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut and participating in ceremonies honoring those who sacrificed their lives to protect their country was an especially powerful experience. I strongly encourage anyone who is thinking of participating on the March of the Living to include the trip to Israel after Poland. It will be an experience of a lifetime with an everlasting impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Dory and Ari. We're very lucky to have you as our co-chairs this year. It's no small thing that you've taken on this role, and we are, March of the Living just wouldn't function in the way that it does without you and your support. So now we're going to hear from Orna Richter and Joel Wardinger, the UJA staff that will be traveling on the March of the Living this year.
Ladies first.
All right, I was waiting for you. Thanks, Joel. Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, although not in person. I hope Zoom works. I'll give you a little snippet about who I am and why I'm so inspired to go on the March of the Living this year. I was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. I'm a byproduct of a small Jewish community. I say byproduct of a small community because when you're a Jew in a small community, you do everything. You roll up your sleeves and you lead youth groups at shul and you plan and organize NCSY and BBYO programs. And I fundraised for the shul and all these things that I did in my young life. The Jewish community is very important to me. My mom and dad divorced when I was young, and my dad moved back to Israel. He was a kibbutznik, and I grew up in Israel every summer visiting my dad. So staunch Zionist from the very beginning as well, but also a very strong Canadian. In my professional life, I thought I would end up in science. I did my undergrad in biology, but the pull to be a part of my Jewish community was clearly stronger. And my first job in nonprofit about 15 years ago was for the Jewish Federation of Edmonton. And here I am full circle back as a UJA staff. I just started with the UJA in Toronto 6 months ago. I live in Hamilton. I was the previous executive director for the Jewish National Fund in Hamilton, London, and Windsor. And now I have the privilege of driving into Toronto 3 days a week. And I'll just tell you that last Shabbat, my son was walking with his kippah on his head back from shul through a crowd of university students. He was on his way to Benny's house for Shabbat, and a student yelled out, "Hail Hitler," to my 12-year-old son. And I feel that in today's world, we have to be strong Jews, we have to advocate for Israel, but I also feel like I've never been able to visit Poland to go on the march, and this is my one missing Jewish piece. And in order to speak strongly as a Jew, I feel that I need to bear witness with my own eyes. So here I am with hopefully so many of you on this call. I will visit the camps together with you, and I just want to say thank you to UJA, to Whitney, to everyone here for allowing me this opportunity to be with you at this really meaningful time. Thank you. Joel, you're up.
Thanks, Orna. Tough act to follow. I am not from the hinterlands of Canada. I am from Toronto, and born and raised. I've just recently also joined UJA shortly after Orna, so I've been there for 5 months. My professional background is a little bit of a hodgepodge of Jewish community stuff and private sector work. I recently was a lawyer for the last number of years for a couple of different infrastructure projects. The one most famous or infamous is the Eglinton Crosstown. You can't throw eggs through the screen, but oftentimes that's what people would like to do. That project is almost done, as I understand. Prior to that, I had been also involved in Jewish community work. If you're familiar with the Yorkville Jewish Center, that was something that I founded. I established that actually as a restructuring from an organization previously, which was called JUMP, Jewish Urban Meeting Place. I just lost my screen. I've recently joined UJA because kind of October 7th, radicalized a lot of us, and it's a way for me to turn kind of that emotion and frustration and staring out at the problems we face as a community, and also the opportunities that we see as a community. I put myself back into community efforts, and I'm really looking forward to this trip to sort of punctuate the things I'm trying to achieve in community work. And I think that's also an interesting time in our community's life, the sort of the global Jewish community. I don't know if October 7th invited sort of like the end of the post-Holocaust era, but the Holocaust has taken on even a different sort of tenor at this time. So I look forward to spending this time with you. And it's also a missing piece in my own Jewish education. And I think that we're going to have an incredibly rewarding experience, especially to be able to learn from people like Nate Leipziger.
Thank you, Joel. And on that note, I am going to introduce, though he needs no introduction, Nate Leipziger. He's been on the march. This will be his 22nd trip. And I mean, I can't even express and put into words how privileged everyone is to be able to travel with Nate on the March of the Living. So, well, Nate, I'll pass it over to you.
I'd like to talk to you about things that nobody else talked before. And that is about the youth that you're going to be with. You're going to be with our young people. And my greatest pleasure is to be with the young people and to see them, how they relate to our history, to what happened, to what we have suffered, and to be at the site where Hitler gave us one-way ticket to Auschwitz, but we came back. We left Auschwitz and we're coming back now with our beautiful youth, with our clever and educated people, and we're making a statement. The biggest statement that we're making is we are here and we're not going anywhere. We are here to stay, and we're going to go to Israel and to make the statement to Israeli as well that we are supporting them at the moment of their greatest need to hear support from us. Now, if you have a teenager that is going on this march, Do not miss that opportunity to go with them. You will regret that you have not taken this opportunity. You will have an opportunity to talk to survivors, to many survivors, not only me, and ask them personal questions. Ask them questions which you always wanted to ask, but never had the opportunity to do so. You'll be in an environment where it cannot be reproduced in any other way, because there's no substitute than seeing either Majdanek or Auschwitz or Treblinka or any other of the death camps that we're going to visit, or the death sites where people were murdered en masse. You know, I lived through 1,000 October the 7th, and I'm still going on because I feel that this is the only way we can go forward, by remembering what happened and going strong and being strong and saying, no, we are not going to disappear. We're going to be here for another thousands of years as we have been here in the past. And, you know, when the nations of the world have come together in the UN and they've declared that there should be a Palestinian state, but the Palestinians don't want to have a state. They want to destroy us. And we have to stay strong and show the world that we are here to stay, and we will do everything that we can do to create peace with us and the Palestinian people who live among us. Whether they live in Israel or anywhere else where they live, we have to make peace with them, and we will. The only thing that we ask in return is that they make peace with us. And this is an opportunity for us to go and to use our feet, to vote with our feet that we are here, and we are here with our people, and we will not abandon our people in Israel at this moment of need. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. As I'm sure you've gathered, March of the Living is so much more than just a 2-week trip. For 37 years, March of the Living has engaged, impacted, and changed the lives of more than 13,000 participants, from high school students and young adults to older adults and our remarkable survivor educators. The March has provided a powerful experience to all those who've been able to participate. The March of the Living is intense, it's emotional, it's educational, it's an immersive experience that lasts a lifetime. You are listening to survivors, learning from top-class educators, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors, both in celebration and in memory, standing in solidarity with Israel on Yom HaZikaron as we remember far too many fallen and victims of terror, and celebrating Jewish life and a Jewish homeland in Israel on Yom Ha'atzmaut. Next year, the dates of the program are April 11th to April 26th for a Poland in Israel program, and April 11th to April 19th for a Poland-only program. As we've alluded to, the March of the Living is centered around 3 really important dates. Yom HaShoah, which is when we walk the 3 kilometers together with the international community from Auschwitz to Auschwitz-Birkenau, alongside thousands of other people to commemorate and pay respects for the millions of lives lost during the Holocaust. Yom HaZikaron, where we mourn our Israeli brothers and sisters, remembering all those who have been fighting for our homeland. And Yom Ha'atzmaut, where we celebrate Israel's Independence Day and the future of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. I'm going to quickly take us through a draft itinerary. Just as a general overview, we are based in Warsaw and Krakow in Poland, and we're based in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in Israel. So the flight departs late on a Saturday night, and we arrive early in the morning on Sunday direct to Krakow, where we will, the adults will take part in a walking tour of the old Jewish quarter, and then return to the hotel or check into the hotel for dinner and introductions. On day 2, adults will have the opportunity to visit Birkenau and Auschwitz. And in the evening, you'll take part in a national Erev Yom HaShoah ceremony with the Canadian delegation, led by the high school students. And day 3 is Yom HaShoah, and this is when the International March of the Living takes place. I apologize. This is backwards. Day 4, participants will have the opportunity to visit Tarnow, which was a thriving place of Jewish life, a thriving shtetl before the war, and follow the path of the Jews of Tarnow to the forest. That evening, we will drive to Belzec, and the next day celebrate Jewish life in Zamość, and then go to Majdanek. On day 6, participants will have the opportunity to visit the Poland Museum and the Old Town of Warsaw, followed by the Genshaw Cemetery, and bring in Shabbat all together, which is really special. On day 7, on Shabbat, there will be optional services at the Neusiedl Synagogue, which is a functioning synagogue in the center of Warsaw. Then you will take part in a walking tour of the Warsaw Ghetto, followed by a really beautiful Havdalah. On day 8, for those participants who opted for a Poland-only program, you'll fly back to Toronto, or you'll fly to wherever your next trip takes you. For those who are traveling to Israel, this is when you will fly there, and you'll have the opportunity to check in and rest and relax. On the first day in Israel, you'll visit Yad Vashem and Har Herzl, really transitioning from Poland to Israel. You'll have time to visit Machne Yehuda and do some shopping and eat some great food. And that evening, we will take part in Masa's Erev Yom HaZikaron ceremony. On day 10, it's Yom HaZikaron. You'll stand for the siren, visit the old city, be joined by a family member of from the Victims of Terror Fund. And then that evening, you'll take part in a festive Yom Ha'atzmaut dinner with the young adults in Tel Aviv. On Yom Ha'atzmaut, there will be an opportunity for family and friend visits, a lunch in Jaffa, and a visit to the Anu Museum, which is the Museum of Jewish Peoplehood, which was recently renovated. On day 12, you'll visit the South, so there will be a volunteer opportunity in the morning, similar to what Ari spoke about, and a visit to the Nova Music Festival site with a testimony, and a visit to Sderot, which is also Toronto's partner city. So we get to see the amazing work that's being done there on behalf of Toronto Federation. On day 13, there will be a graffiti tour in the morning, followed by a tasting tour of Levinsky Market. Both of those things receive excellent evaluations each year. And then some time to shop in the Artist Market on Nechla Benjamin, and a private Shabbat dinner, which is also a group highlight. And that Shabbat day is the last full day. There will be a high-level geopolitical update in the morning. 2 years ago when Dory was there, the speaker was Eilon Levy. And in the afternoon, you'll have some time to go to the beach or take a walk or do whatever you'd like to do, spend some more time together. Then a closing program, another Havdalah, dinner, and goodbyes. And the next morning, it's an early flight for those who are leaving Israel back to Toronto. So the itinerary is subject to change, but we wanted to give you a high-level overview of what it will look like. And if you have any questions specifically about the itinerary, you can save them until the end, or you can also email us. We'll put our contact information at the end as well. So looking at the year ahead, we do have local programming. There will be 2 meetings for the adults. One of them will take place at the Toronto Holocaust Museum, and the second will be a logistics review. It will be in person. You'll collect some materials. For those of you who are not in Toronto and can't come in person, we'll also have an online component, and we will bring your materials to the airport or to Poland where we meet you. We also send out reading lists and movie lists and lots of recommendations as to best prepare yourself for this journey ahead. Registration. So registration opens on October 20th and it closes on November 20th. There are 3 parts to the application. There is the personal and trip information, which is just general data collection, your name, address, a little bit about you. And then there's medical information, which is mostly your dietary restrictions and allergies and medication. And part 3, which requires you to sign the terms and conditions, review the cancellation terms, and make the deposit payment. To maintain a high caliber program, we will be traveling, or we're planning to travel with 1 bus of adults this year, which is 35 people. Also just a note on insurance, because it's part of the registration process. We require medical insurance and strongly recommend cancellation insurance, though we're not affiliated with any insurance company and cannot make any recommendations. But if you're really inquiring, I'm happy to tell you where people have purchased insurance in the past. So we don't have prices for 2026 yet, but as a point of reference, the 2025 prices are listed here on the screen. For the Poland and Israel program, they were $15,200 US, and for the Poland only program, it was $8,600 US. And these prices are package prices. They include all flights, all accommodation, buses, entrance fees, site visits, the guide, tips, and most meals, which you saw when it pointed out on the itinerary that I showed as an overview which meals weren't included. Those are just in Israel. In Poland, all the meals are included. Should you wish to opt out of flights, we can give a credit. And there are limited business class and premium economy seats available to upgrade to. Seats are available on a first come, first serve basis at an additional expense. So a little bit, I'm going to try and answer some of your questions before we open it up. But I do just want to make a note that on the subject of price, we know that the March of the Living is not inexpensive, but we truly believe that it's an investment worth making. Our adult program, you can ask anybody that's been on our adult program. It has an outstanding reputation internationally. It's regarded as, I'll say, the best adult program. And really, I encourage you to ask anyone who's been, and they will tell you what a high caliber program this is. And generally speaking, what a high caliber program Canada offers. So some frequently asked questions. All flights are organized through the International March of the Living. They're coordinating 10,000 flights, 10,000 people's flights over the course of 2 weeks, and it's no small thing. Flight deviations are very difficult and nearly impossible, I'll say. So definitely encourage you to take credits if you're planning to take your own flights. I mentioned right now we're set to depart the evening of April 11th and arrive in Krakow the morning of the 12th. There's no direct flights to Krakow. If you would like a direct flight, you will have to take our flight. We're chartering a flight. Otherwise, you can definitely take a connecting flight through Warsaw or elsewhere. On your application, you can indicate whether or not you'll be flying with us or on your own. And once our flights are confirmed, changes are very challenging. So please be in touch with us if anything changes, and we'll do our best to accommodate. In terms of extensions, I alluded to this, but we cannot accommodate extensions. So again, if you choose to extend your stay in Poland or in Israel, you'll receive a credit for your flight home, and you'll be responsible for booking your own return ticket. Because we charter, we cannot book on points with you. So you can definitely book on points on your own. And I said already, the upgrades, we have upgrades, limited upgrades available. We're very, very lucky to travel with a large delegation of survivors, and they get priority on our business class seats, which we're very thankful for. Means that we don't have many left. In terms of food, so if you have any serious allergies, please be in touch with us so we can discuss how to best accommodate you. The food on the adults program isn't nearly as of an exciting topic as the food on the kids program. If anyone's had kids, you know, it's like everyone's favorite subject, but the food on the adult program is delicious, it's plentiful, there's lots of options and lots of variety. All the accommodations are 5-star accommodations, but these are European and Israeli 5-star accommodations. They're not North American 5-star accommodations. So we just like to set expectations in that regard. They're all wonderful hotels. We've never had any issues, but they're just not the same as a 5-star North American hotel. In terms of side trips, lots of people want to dive into their family history and visit places that we may not necessarily get to on our itinerary. So we encourage you to take side trips, though this does mean that you will be missing out on the itinerary of the group. But it's an amazing opportunity to learn more about your family history. And we want to help you with this. So if you're interested in taking a side trip, just know that it will mean missing part of the itinerary. It will also be at your own expense, but we can definitely help you with this. We have amazing guides in Poland. And with regard to safety and security. So far beyond Holocaust and Israel education, safety and security is our top priority. There's armed security traveling on the bus on each bus throughout our time in Poland and our time in Israel. In Poland, our group is part of a much larger security apparatus with the International March of the Living. They have security headquarters in Warsaw and in Krakow. There is security everywhere. They have a security team that works year-round to ensure the safest program possible. In Israel, all of our buses are equipped with a GPS. We check in every morning with the Jewish Agency to make sure that we can go on with the day's events. And we also travel with armed security in Israel. And I'm happy to talk more about safety and security, but we're also going to talk even more about it at our logistics review just before the trip. So again, registration opens on October 20th. The March of the Living can be so many things as discussed tonight, but I just want to be clear about a few things that it's not. Although you're going to be alongside the kids, there's parallel itineraries in Poland, and you're going to see them and you're going to hear survivor testimony together and participate in the International March of the Living together. You're not going to have an opportunity to have conversations with them all the time. You're definitely not going to eat meals with them, and they certainly don't stay at the same hotels as the adults. And March of the Living is group travel. So seats on flights are assigned to you. The buses don't leave until everyone gets there in the morning. There are early mornings, late nights, there's deviations en route. You will come home tired and emotional and jet lagged, but very, very fulfilled. We understand that group travel is not for everyone, but if you can embrace it, if you can find it within you, and you can be a team player, it will be well worth it. And lastly, March of the Living is non-denominational. We're a pluralistic program that aims to strengthen Holocaust and Israel knowledge and an understanding of communal responsibility, regardless of what that may be. We accept everyone as they are, and there are no hidden agendas. So I'll open it up to questions in a minute, but I just want to take the time to thank Nate and Dory and Ari and Joel and Orna for being here tonight and for their commitment to March of the Living. Lauren and I are available by phone and email if you have any questions throughout the registration period or before. And we are all looking forward to a very, very safe and meaningful 2026 March of the Living experience. So I will stop sharing my screen and I'll open it up. There are some questions. I think.
No questions as of yet.
There's no questions. So
I
if
see
you
a
have any
hand raised.
questions,
Hold on, I've got a hand raised. Let me see if I can.
if there is ever a question, they can actually email it to me through you. And, you know, I will be happy to answer any question that they may come up.
Thank you,
And
Nate.
I'm really looking forward to being with on the March of the Living again. And, you know, having said that, I hope it's not my last one. Being 98 was 97, I'm quite mobile. I drive, you know, I can still talk and make, compose a sentence on the run. And, you know, I really think that this is an opportunity for everyone to, you know, the price is steep, but, you know, so is life. And, you know, if we don't take advantage of the opportunity that comes our way, we'll be sorry that we've missed it.
I'm going to jump in with a few
Thank you,
questions
Nate.
from
There's two
our
questions.
attendees in the audience. When registration opens, where do they find the link?
You
Or
can find the
when they
link
apply?
on our website, marchofthelivingcanada.org. And you're also going to receive an email tomorrow with this recording of this information session, and you'll also receive an email when registration opens with the link to register. I can see the questions now, so I'll go through them. If we decide to fly on our own, do we just meet at the hotel? You're actually going to meet us at the airport. We're going to tell you exactly where to meet us, depending on the time of our flight. And because our first stop is not actually the hotel, we hit the ground running. So you'll meet us at the airport so that you can put your stuff on the bus, or maybe your stuff's already at the hotel, but you'll join the group from the start. Yes, and you'll all receive a recording of this information session tomorrow. We do take roommate requests. You can also indicate, there's an opportunity to indicate 1 bed or 2 beds based on your preference when you let us know who you'd like to share a room with. The registration will be on the website. So accommodation is based on double occupancy. You can upgrade to a single supplement, and that's also an option on the registration form that you can indicate. There's a question about business class seats. It depends also on the layout of the flight, which can continue to change until departure, but we will let you know if you've indicated that you're interested in a business class or a premium economy seat. We will be in touch with you to confirm. Adults, so yes, so registration does take place on a first come, first serve basis, and to confirm your spot, you need to make your deposit payment. Last year, there were, it was 1 full bus. I want to say it was like 42 adults. Somebody asked how many adults went last year. Which airline from Poland to Israel? So we don't have our exact flights booked yet, but in the past we have flown, usually International March of the Living works with charters from Poland to Israel, because again, they're trying to get thousands of people over from Poland to Israel in the course of 24 hours. So they're working with chartered flights. We don't have the cost of the trip for this year. We included as a point of reference what last year's costs were, but costs will definitely be communicated in the next couple weeks. Certainly when registration opens, the price will be very clearly indicated on our website. So yeah, so one question was about our flight. We have chartered a flight from Toronto to Krakow, and it will be the Canadian delegation. It will actually just be the Toronto delegation and the adults and the young adults, and then the rest of Canada will fly on another flight. Yes, so you'll receive a credit if you book your own flights. Can we fly to Poland on our own and back to Toronto from? Yep, you can let us know exactly what flights you would like to join for and what flights you would like to opt out of. The adult and young adults program are also separate programs. So the Again, in Poland, our itineraries are more parallel, though the young adults have different dates. The young adults are flying to Israel a little bit earlier. They're spending a little bit less time in Poland, but they'll be on our outbound flight from Toronto to Poland, and they'll likely, many of them will be on our flight home from Israel. So registration does fill up. I encourage you, if you are really keen to join, don't hesitate, sign up, pay your deposit. That being said, it's not going to fill up in a day or two. You're gonna have some time. You'll have a couple weeks, but to ensure your spot, you must pay that deposit. And all of the terms and conditions and cancellation deadlines are all outlined on our registration site as well. It's 2 people in a room, unfortunately. And is there an opportunity to meet any Jewish? Yeah, so at different years, we've done different programs there was a question about meeting Jewish people in Poland. First of all, we're there with the International March of the Living, so there are thousands of other Jewish people, Jewish adults from all around the world, and particularly in Warsaw, there's a hotel hub where many of the delegations stay, so you'll have the opportunity, if you so desire, to meet them at all times in the lobby, in the dining room. Really, there's a lot of people come to Poland for this 1 week, a lot of Jewish people, so there will be many, many opportunities. Oh, Polish Jews. So you'll be able to meet Polish Jews at Noishik Synagogue, because there are local Jews who go to synagogue. And we've also done programs with Polish people who like to have conversations, but it's dependent on the year in the program. I'm happy to answer more questions about single supplements. I don't want to give you a price off the top of my head because I can't remember, but if you email us, we can give you as a point of reference what the single supplement was for last year. So if there's no more questions, I would just like to echo what Nate said earlier. This is really such an incredible opportunity. And I know that for anybody watching, I don't need to tell you how incredible Nate is and what a privilege it is to travel with him on March the Living. So thank you, Nate, for being here tonight and for always sharing your wisdom with us. And thank you, Joel and Orna and Dory and Ari. And I look forward to meeting everyone on the March of the Living next year. And Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Thank you, everyone.
Shana Tova, everyone.
And we look forward to traveling with everyone in April.